Ever wonder what happens when one person's obsession with control puts an entire community's safety at risk? Let me tell you about the summer that shook Lakeside Haven, our little slice of paradise with a beach that's the heart of the neighborhood. I'm Jake Turner, a civil engineer who thought buying a house here 3 years ago was my ticket to sunny weekends by the lake. The beach was why I paid a premium for my place, kids splashing, neighbors chatting, the kind of vibe that makes you feel alive. But last summer, that vibe turned into a battlefield, all because of one woman, Linda Harper, our HOA president. Linda wasn't just any HOA president. Oh no, she was a legend, and not the good kind. She'd campaigned on protecting property values. But her real talent? Micromanaging our lives with rules so absurd they'd make your head spin. Picture her, clipboard in hand, popping up like a hawk whenever someone dared to have too much fun. Forgot to trim your hedges by half an inch? Linda's got a violation notice for you. Kids laughing too loud at the beach? She's there, frowning, ready to shut it down. For years I flew under her radar, keeping my lawn pristine and my head down. But that all changed when our beach became a danger zone. It started on Memorial Day weekend. 2 kids nearly drowned in the lake. If it weren't for a neighbor, a former lifeguard who happened to be nearby, they'd be gone. The whole neighborhood was shaken. Our community had grown, with more families and kids flocking to the beach than ever. We couldn't ignore the wake-up call. At an emergency HOA meeting, even Linda seemed to agree we needed action. The board voted unanimously to build a lifeguard tower and hire certified lifeguards for the summer. As an engineer with construction contacts, I stepped up to lead the project. The county was on board, fast-tracking permits because of the safety risks. The tower would be simple but effective, giving lifeguards a clear view of the beach. We planned to start construction in early June, aiming to have it ready for the big 4th of July bash that always packed the lakefront. The Sunday before we broke ground, I went to the beach to mark the site with survey stakes and caution tape. Everything was set when I left. But when I showed up Monday morning with the construction crew, my jaw hit the sand. Right in the middle of our marked zone sat a massive concrete planter, so ugly it looked like it belonged in a junkyard. And standing next to it, arms crossed, smirking like she just won a war, was Linda Harper. "Morning, Jake," she said, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. "There's been a change of plans. The board's reconsidered the lifeguard tower." I was dumbfounded. "Linda, what are you talking about?" "The board voted unanimously. I've got permits. The crew's here." She tilted her head, like she was talking to a toddler. "As president, I have final say on aesthetics. That tower would be an eyesore, dragging down property values. This planter's much more suitable, don't you think?" Suitable? The thing was a monstrosity, probably weighing a ton. "How do you even get this here?" I asked, still processing. She waved at a landscaping truck nearby. "My brother-in-law owns Green Hills Landscaping. He was happy to help when I explained the situation." Her smirk didn't budge. I took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. "Linda, this is about safety. 2 kids almost died. The tower's location was chosen for visibility, approved by the county." She brushed me off. "Those kids shouldn't have been unsupervised," I said. "Their parents need to step up. Besides, I've decided we'll use the funds for security cameras instead. Much more practical." The construction foreman walked over, confused about whether we were starting. Time was money, and delays would cost us. I asked for a few minutes and turned back to Linda. "You can't just override a board decision. We have permits. Moving that planter and building the tower is the only legal option." Her face tightened. "I've already called the county to cancel those permits." "And the board?" "They'll back me at the next meeting. Try to move this planter, and I'll file trespassing charges." She tapped her HOA binder like it was a sacred text. "Section 12, Paragraph 4 gives me authority to block unapproved changes to community property." I was losing patience but kept my cool. "Linda, you're wrong. The board's vote and county permits trump your preferences. Move the planter, or we'll have a problem. Her eyes narrowed. You don't know who you're dealing with, Jake. That patio you built last year? It's 2 inches over the approved size. Would be a shame if the HOA forced you to rip it out. There it was, her trump card. I wasn't shocked, but it stung. Linda probably had dirt on everyone, the violation she could weaponize whenever she needed control. I tried one last time. Linda, this isn't about us. It's about kids' safety. The tower could save lives. Is your ego worth that risk? For a second, I thought I saw a flicker of doubt in her eyes. But it vanished. The decision's final, she snapped. The planter stays. The tower's dead. She spun around and walked off, leaving me with an idle crew and a concrete nightmare. I apologized to the foreman and told him we'd reschedule. Then I made 2 calls that turned the tide. First, I called the HOA board chair. Then I reached my contact at the county permit office. What I learned was a game changer. Linda had called the county, claiming to represent the HOA, but she had 0 authority to revoke permits. More importantly, blocking a county-approved safety structure wasn't just an HOA violation, it was illegal, a breach of county public safety ordinances. The next morning, I returned to the beach with backup, 2 board members, my county contact, and a police officer. We called Linda to meet us there. When she arrived and saw our group, her usual swagger faltered, but she recovered fast. Quite the posse, Jake, she said, forcing a smile. But it changes nothing. The board's reconsidered the tower. The board's VYC president stepped forward. That's a lie, Linda. The board never voted to reconsider. You acted alone, against HOA rules. Her face reddened. As president, I have executive authority over aesthetics. Read the bylaws. The county official cut in. Ms. Harper, this isn't about bylaws. You've illegally blocked a safety installation. That planter needs to go, and the tower needs to be built. Linda looked stunned. Illegal? That's ridiculous. This is private property. The official stayed calm. Private or not, it's subject to county safety laws, especially for water safety. The permit was issued because of near drownings. Linda turned to the officer, expecting an ally. Officer, they're trespassing. As HOA president, I demand you remove them. The officer shifted uncomfortably. Ma'am, they have authorization to build this tower. You placed an illegal obstruction. Please arrange to remove the planter. Linda's face went from red to volcanic. This is outrageous. I'm protecting property values. That tower's an eyesore. The officer's patience was thinning. Ms. Harper, you've got 2 choices: move the planter, or face charges for obstructing a safety installation. I thought she might back down. But then, in a move that left us all gobsmacked, Linda pulled out her phone and started recording. I'm documenting this abuse of power, she bellowed. You can't threaten me. I know my rights. Then, in a scene straight out of a drama, she planted herself in front of the planter, arms spread like a martyr. You'll have to drag me off if you want to touch this. The officer sighed. Ma'am, step aside. Let's handle this calmly. I am calm, she screamed, loud enough to wake the whole neighborhood. You're destroying our community with that ugly tower. By now, a crowd of neighbors had gathered, whispering, phones out, recording the chaos. The officer warned her again. She was now actively obstructing, risking arrest. Linda doubled down, climbing onto the planter and sitting defiantly. Arrest me, then. I'm protecting Lakeside Haven. She thought it was a bluff. It wasn't. The officer, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else, explained she was trespassing and obstructing. When she still wouldn't budge, he did it. He arrested her. The look on Linda's face as she was cuffed and led to the squad car priceless. This is a mistake. I'm the HOA president, she kept shouting, as if it made her untouchable. With Linda gone, her brother-in-law's landscaping company hauled the planter away. Construction on the tower started and finished just in time for the 4th of July. It blended perfectly with the beach, No eyesore in sight. Linda? She faced charges for obstruction and resisting an officer. At her hearing, the judge wasn't buying her property values excuse. She got 100 hours of community service, a DULA 5,000 fine, and a year of probation. When the gavel came down, she screamed, "DULA 5,000? I was doing my job!" The judge's warning about contempt shut her up fast. Lakeside Haven's beach is safer now, thanks to the tower. But Linda's meltdown? That's the real legend, still whispered about at every barbecue. Some call her a tyrant who got what she deserved. Others think she was just misguided, fighting for what she thought was right. Me? I think power went to her head, and she forgot one thing: a community's strength isn't in rules, it's in keeping each other safe.